I've been looking forward to getting this one for a while. Hello and welcome back to the Nerd Room. James here again with another brand new Marvel Legends review for you. So, this one right here, we're doing the former Toys R Us exclusive Thor, Rocket, Raccoon, and Groot from Infinity War. Obviously, with the stores closing last year, I really couldn't find any in my area, so the only place you could probably find this is maybe in Canada or online. So I actually picked this up from Entertainment Earth because they were running a deal like 2 weeks ago for $20. I'm not stupid. $20 for this, I gotta have it. So there you go. I grabbed it. Really excited. I'm happy to have this. So we're going to take a look at it as usual, do some comparison with some of the other figures I have, and see how it goes. Okay, let's take a tour around the box, shall we? So you have all three figures lined up in the window display. Thor with an eye patch, Rocket Raccoon with a couple guns, and Teenage Groot, who hasn't been in Legends before, so that's pretty cool to have. Basically, I wanted this one more for the eye patch Thor and the Teenage Groot, who's not in my Marvel Legends collection, though I have the standard figure. Anyways, clearly, you know where you can get this online, more or less. Sticker right there for the old Toys R Us stores in America. You can probably get it in Canada. I don't know, but still. The only place you can really get this is online through like an Amazon, or I went through Entertainment Earth, and I want to thank those guys for hooking me up. I appreciate it. Anyways, tour around the box. You know, you have the logo on the front, Thor, Rocket, and Groot on the bottom, Legends on the top there. Window display on the top in case you want to look down. The side you have some nice artwork with Rocket and Groot on the back. On the side, on the back, you have a nice pose of the three figures and the text, which says, "When a blaster-toting raccoon, a teenage tree, and an Asgardian god get together, the journey is sure to be out of this world." Get it? Out of the world? Space? Ha ha ha. Anyways, pretty cool setup there. We'll see how that goes later on. Inside you have the nice Thor with the eye patch and thunder and lightning coming out of the suit. Back to the front. There are your figures. So let's rip open this box and let's talk them up. Alright, so this is the Thor from the figure pack, and to me the head is probably the most accurate out of the figures that I have. We'll probably talk it up a little bit later, but anyways, taking a look at the head really close, just dead on Chris Hemsworth from the side, and the eye patch and everything. I do kind of wish they didn't do up the whole electricity on him. Obviously, if you saw the close-up, his eye doesn't have a pupil because they're going with some lightning effects on the side but you're using all silver. I wish they didn't do that because, you know, if they could have done it with a Thor Ragnarok one, but I guess I would have spoiled it, right? But still, very cool. I dig the design on the suit otherwise. Very spot on. Yep, can't really say enough about it. It's this right now. We'll see how this goes, but this is close to being my favorite of the Thors. We'll see how it goes. Let's check articulation. Anyways, his head goes back that far, goes forward that far, goes all the way around. His arm goes up that far. He only gets a different arm today. Bicep rotation, of course, to the double joint on the elbow, and the wrist goes back and forth. This goes back that far, goes forward that far. Rotation at the diaphragm instead of the waist. That's interesting. Legs go apart that far, go forward and back that far. Rotation at the thigh, double joint at the knee. No calf rotation, but he has the angle back and forth and pivot. So so far I dig it. We'll talk Raccoon in a second, otherwise. So yeah, let's get on to Rocket. All right, so let's talk Rocket for a little bit. So clearly, looks like he might be just the same mold from the Guardians 2 pack. We'll talk about him in a little bit in comparison, but still very cool. If you don't have a Rocket Raccoon, you know, this 3-pack may be the way to go. You might want to, like I probably said in the last review, use his tail to make him stand up because he doesn't like standing up so much. For accessories, he comes with a couple of very tiny, if I can get my big hands around him, very tiny little pistols and a big gun. Talk articulation. We'll try to be careful because I already popped him a couple things off. His head goes back that far, goes forward that far, all the way around. His arm goes up that far. It goes all the way around. Yeah, so one joint at the elbow, one joint at the wrist. Goes back that far, goes forward that far. Legs go apart about that far. Thigh rotation, one joint at the knee, and ankle pivot and rotation. So when posing this guy, you want to be very careful. As I was doing my first take, I popped off the leg, popped off the arm, popped off the head. So, you know, don't go full out with your posing with him. So that's the Rocket. Let's talk Groot. Alright, so this is teenage Groot from Infinity War, obviously. So he comes with a little tablet that's he plays the space games on it. It's not a Defender one game, but it is what it is. Take a look around the figure though. Looks very cool. I love the paint apps. I love the shininess of the eyes. That's awesome. I love how they put the green on with the browns and make him definitely plant-like. Well, sure, obviously. Very cool. I dig the design on him. It's a little effort to get him to stand up, but still, it is what it is. Looks very cool. Let's check his articulation, shall we? So, his head goes back that far, not too far, but it goes all the way down like that. That's pretty cool. All the way around, and it does a little side to side. That's awesome. His arm goes up that far, all the way around. No bicep rotation. He has one joint in the one joint at the elbow. That's pretty cool, though. The wrist back and forth. He doesn't really go back that far. Doesn't really go back that forward because he's very thin, obviously. Well, he does a little bit. And he has rotation at the diaphragm. His legs go apart that far, forward and back that far. No thigh rotation, but his legs do that a little bit. Rotation at the knee and bend at the knee, and he has the ankle back and forth and pivot. So let's compare these figures to their counterparts, shall we? Like the other MCU figures I have of each. We'll start with Thor. Alright, so I have my 5 Chris Hemsworth Thors. Obviously you can see the first 10 years Dark World Thor is the odd man out, as the other 4 look almost close in resemblance to each other. I'll probably switch heads on the Thor Ragnarok and the Infinity War Thor, just because I think that this one probably could have done with a little bit more shading on the beard and the hair just to get a better likeness down. So I think that one resembles Hemsworth a lot more. But I do dig the new Infinity War one a lot. That one stands out to me a bit more, I think. Probably because of the lightning effects, I guess. Alright, so I have the Rocket Raccoon from Guardians on the left, and I have Thor Ragnarok Rocket on the right. So, yeah. There's obviously you can tell the difference between the paint apps. As the Infinity War one is a bit darker. Has some blacks, have some more browns added to the suit. The fur's darkened a little bit. But otherwise, it's still the same figure. Very cool, regardless. And this is my Groot collection. I do like that the Teen Groot Marvel Legends is a bit angsty, but you really can't go wrong with full-size adult Groot. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get on to doing some posing, shall we? With the 3 figures.